In this video, I'm going to show you how you can predictably make 100k a month from LinkedIn. Now, we've done this on our profile, on client profiles, and this is where we're going to show you how to do it for yourself. This is going to be a high-level overview. I'm not going to go into the tactical perspectives, but I'm really going to focus on the things that move the needle so you can implement them into your business. So, to kick it off, 100k a month. Now, to get 100k a month, you need two things. If you're an agency watching this, you have a retainer service typically. You probably charge on the top end, or so let's say middle end, 5k a month. You only need 20 clients to get to 100k a month. That's not a huge number. Now, for those that charge less than 5k, you can charge 5k a month. That's completely possible. I know agencies that sell the exact same things, selling it at 2.5 times, 3 times, 4 times the same price. And all they do differently is they position differently and they have a better source of leads. When the source of leads comes from your personal brand, from referrals, from word of mouth, from nurturing, they're able to pay more because they want to work with you specifically, and they can work through some hurdles or barriers around pricing. If you're a coach, typically you don't have retainer on the back end. You're only having a 10k, maybe a 20k coaching deal in the back end. So you're doing more one-time sales. But for you to get 100k a month, you just need 10 clients a month, generally speaking. If you sell obviously a cheaper coaching program, you just need to reduce the price, but you'd hope that the LTV can get high enough. And I have a client that has a $250,000 LTV as a coach. He does 250k. So half a client a month does this value for him. Now, this screenshot over here, it's really interesting. This is someone that watched our content and implemented the stuff they did. And they closed, you can read it yourself, but they closed 12 clients as a result. So 12 times 5k, they made 60k MRR basically as a result of working with us if they were selling a 5k month contract. I don't know what they were selling. So the solution for them specifically is really simple. It's just, instead of booking 40 calls, I need them to book 66 calls. They need to make 41 offers and they need to close 20. It's the 30% close rate. It's pretty standard in the industry. And in fact, I know, again, one of my clients that has the 250k coaching program, LTV, has an 86% close rate because the leads are just so hot and they just want to work with him specifically. So the point I'm trying to get to here is very possible, very doable. It's just a function of getting the numbers in. And the key thing is you just need to book more calls. If you book more calls, everything solves itself. And this is a series of screenshots to show you that booking calls on LinkedIn is very possible. So there's a client here that does 59 calls booked, 29 calls booked, 37 calls booked. This guy had a 4.5k per month deal as an agency, closed it within really quickly. So therefore, and it had a performance. So he needs 22 clients to get there. This same person booked 20 calls, so it's already on the way. This client ended up closing 5 clients from 60 calls, so a much lower close rate. That was a function of closing ability, but also just finding the perfect fit. So sometimes your close rates are lower. That's expected. You will learn how to do that, but you're always booking in more calls so that you're operating from abundance. You'd rather book in more calls and have a low close rate and improve the close rate than having hardly any calls booked in and a high close rate. You just want more calls at all times. And this agency over here has an 8k a month deal, so they only need 12 clients and they have performance on the back end. So there's so many ways to do this. But the key is just literally calls. So if you want to make 100k a month from your personal brand, book more calls. That's the next logical step. So I'm now going to walk you through what it takes to build that LinkedIn personal brand stack so that you can book in more calls. The very first thing you need to do is niche and offer. And I'm going to explain this in a bit of detail because the niche and offer is everything. I've worked on I've worked on literally 100 plus LinkedIn accounts. And this is one of the main things that needs to happen to get it right. And when it goes right, it can be the difference between an account doing poorly and an account doing well. Everything else can make up for it, but this is a multiplier, if anything. So niche and offer. You have to be 3 things, generally speaking, on LinkedIn to get this to work. And there are some times where you can be different, but I'll explain. So firstly, you have to be high ticket. And when I say high ticket, you must be charging 3k a month as an agency. And if you're not already, just literally increase your prices. If you're charging 1.5k, 2k, just charge 3k. If you're a coach, you need to be selling like a 3K deal minimum, just to like make the economics work and make this all worth your energy. The second thing you have to be doing is you have to be selling growth of some sort. So if you're a business coach, you're selling people how to grow their business. If you're a career coach, you're telling people how to get a higher paying job. If you're a sales and marketing agency, you're telling people how to make more revenue. There is a smaller caveat, which is like, like let's say, I want to say life coaching, where it's like, fulfillment, respect, this sort of stuff. Like it's a bit more like less tangible and hard. And this stuff does still work, but it's a little bit harder than the top three, but it does still work. So I'll leave that there. And then finally, like you need to have a really clear buyer persona. So you need to know exactly who you want to speak to. So if it's typically agency owners, SaaS CEOs, corporate VPs, this is just some examples. You can keep on going, like, accountancy firm owners, whoever it is. I want you to be really clear on who's buying from you. Because when you're super clear about who's buying from you and you know what you're selling that they want, and you're selling a high enough ticket, it's just a function, again, of booking in more calls. So nail this, and a lot of things fix almost immediately. So if here's, for example, like our profile is like nailed on what we're selling as an outcome. It works really well. It books in calls. And when we help other clients do this, these are not our done for you. These are our coaching clients, but if they implement these fixes, they almost immediately book in calls. And this works especially if you have an existing network, and it's just about like having clarity on the niche and the offer, and it just absolutely works. The next level of your personal brand stack is content format. So I'm going to go into this in a bit of detail too, but the mistake that I see is personal brands just post what they think they should post, and they don't understand that they need to adhere to two things. One, what your target ICP actually wants, and two, what does the algo want? And if you get the Venn diagram of this correct, you end up getting traction. And if you don't get it correct, you get 1 or 2 likes, you lose out on people seeing your content, therefore no one sees your offer, therefore no one books on a call. Like this is really important. And there are easy ways to fix it. So firstly, there are definitely resonant types of content on LinkedIn. And I'm not going to show this in detail because this is our like sort of content format. We taxonomize the whole of LinkedIn. So I know that there's only 11 post types that work on LinkedIn. And there's maybe like 4 ways to do this post types. So the very first thing you need to do is to work out what are the resonant types of posts in your niche that LinkedIn is pushing. And when you work out what those things are, you're like, cool, I just need to do more of those, then I get eyeballs. So there's definitely an element of that there. When you get that right, and we teach this as well, and we do this for our clients, but when you get this right, really cool stuff starts to happen. Now I'm going to show you a quick start guide. So this is a part of that framework, and it's called the STEP framework: social proof, trending, education, personal. So there are ultimately only 4 pillars of content you can do. You can do social proof posts, which are basically showing the case study or a transformation. You have trending posts, which are effectively opinions and controversial stuff. You have education, where you're going through listicles, you're teaching stuff. Or you have personal, where you're talking about, again, a personal transformation. You need to post every single weekday on one of these types of formats. These are what work on LinkedIn already. So if you do one of these 5, you're already in the right way to getting the content format correct. And I had a client that literally wasn't doing it right. And they were seeing this on the left-hand side. They were seeing like 400, 800, like really small impression numbers. And we came in and just like redid the same posts, but in the right way, with the right type of hooks, the right type of formats, like aligning with what the platform wanted and what the audience wanted. And we just saw a massive increase straight away. These posts were not like super top funnel stuff. They were still bottom funnel. They were still trying to get leads, and they were still working. By the way, I have a mini course down below. They have some content formats in there which you can get, but we'll keep going. Oh gosh. So the next level, viral lead magnets. You got your niche and offer right, you got your content format right. You now need to get viral, and going viral is really valuable because you get loads of eyeballs. And there are 2 ways to go viral. You can go viral from like some like cool post that like is personal or whatever, but it doesn't really relate to your business. So I found the best way to go viral is through lead magnets. So this is Paolo's profile, my co-founder, and these are like these posts we do that get 700 comments, 900, 400, 130, that's not that much actually, 245, 200, like whatever. We are able to go viral on demand because we use viral lead magnets. And these are when we give away a resource that's extremely valuable. We give it away for free. We say comment, like, get to it, and then we give it in the DMs. Now, what we're doing ultimately is two things. One, we are filtering the market. If we give away something for free, it has to solve a pain point. And if someone opts in for that, they have that pain point. So therefore, we've kind of like cut the market. Like, oh, look, these 100 people have pains that are similar to what we're trying to solve. Then you go out of those 100 people, who is qualified to book in a meeting with me? Say that's like 15, 20, 30 people. You then go out in the DMs because you're already connected with them and you go start booking meetings. So going viral on demand is awesome. And again, if you got everything all right, because you got impressions, you should just book in calls straight away. Just as a result of like them seeing you and your niche and your offer and like everything's working. If they don't book in calls, which is also normal, like people don't always book in calls straight away, you need to have a conversation with them and you need to push them down the funnel. And so conversations effectively go with like these 5 steps. You need to be a connection first to even have a conversation in DMs. You need to have a started, probe, qualify, snatch. I'll walk through this now. So to have a connection with someone, they either need to come inbound connection requests, typically through lead magnets, or we do them manually, or we use HeyReach, which is like an automation tool, which I really like. You then start conversations. These are like some ways I start conversations. You'll notice that they're very conversational, they're very chill. I'm very like relaxed in my language. Sometimes I don't even ask a question. I just like say stuff. Or sometimes I ask a question just to get something moving. I then probe. So I'll try to identify if there's a pain in this user, if they want to chat to me. If there is a pain, I'll then try to qualify. So in this one, I was like trying to qualify for like location or something. And then if they're qualified, they're probed, like everything's good. I'm like, cool, do you want to just chat? And I'll transition this qualify to a snatch. Or you say we snatch a call in the DMs. So that's literally how we book in like a ridiculous, like I think we book in 70 calls last month, maybe 120 of the last 60 days, like crazy numbers. And it's all because we do these 4 things. We have a dialed in niche. We're consistent with what LinkedIn wants. We have viral lead magnets and we have conversations. When any one of these breaks, so I remember we didn't do lead magnets for a little bit. When it broke, it didn't go anywhere. Like we didn't have enough conversation starting. That was like broken. When we made our content better, like obviously we're teaching this and we're doing this, but we always make our content better. We're always learning. This got bigger. And so then everything else kind of got bigger too, which is interesting. Like everything else kind of like worked better. When you're starting off, I want you to like have an amazing niche and offer, and you're going to like not having many viral lead magnets. You're not going to have many conversations. And you're not going to have any content formats. And then slowly you're going to get better at content, and your lead magnets are going to get better. And then you're going to have more conversations. And over time, I want this to be like a fat pyramid. I want this to be huge. I want you to be having loads of conversations because that's what's going to get you the 100K a month. It's going to be the volume you're doing essentially. But until then, you just got to put the effort in, and you got to do the consistent work of niche, content, lead mags, conversations. If this was valuable, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm super happy with creating these YouTube videos, and I'm just going to create more as well. So thank you so much. Thank you. If this is valuable and you want us to go and run your LinkedIn engine, you can book in a call below, or you can buy my $97 course where I walk through this in more detail with templates, scripts, processes that you can install into your own business so you can basically do it yourself. Either way, I look forward to seeing you somewhere down the funnel. Thank you so much.